Listen to me closely. What you think about every single day, it matters more than you realize. Your thoughts are not just passing ideas floating around in your head. They are not harmless little daydreams or random noise. No, they are seeds. And every time you think a thought, you're planting a seed in the soil of your mind. And guess what? Those seeds are going to grow. They're going to grow into habits, into decisions, into patterns. And sooner or later, they're going to grow into the life you're living. That's why I'm telling you, you become exactly what you think about. Some of you in this room, you're frustrated with where you are right now. You're tired of being stuck in the same struggles, the same setbacks. And you're looking around asking, why me? Why does this keep happening? But the real question is, what are you feeding your mind every single day? Because if you're waking up and all you think about is how tired you are, how broke you are, how unlucky you are, how unfair life is, then that's the life you're going to keep living. You're planting seeds of negativity and expecting a harvest of greatness. It doesn't work like that. On the flip side, if you wake up and say to yourself, I'm going to get better today. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to move closer to my dream. Those thoughts are creating energy. And that energy drives your actions. And those actions, over time, create your results. You don't need me to tell you. It's common sense. If you think like a champion, you move like a champion. If you think like a quitter, you live like a quitter. I remember being in a place where I thought I wasn't going to make it. I thought I wasn't enough. I thought my circumstances were too heavy, too painful, too stacked against me. And the moment I changed my thoughts, the moment I stopped telling myself what I couldn't do and started feeding my mind with what I could do, everything shifted. Did my problems disappear overnight? No. But my mindset gave me the strength to face them differently. And because I faced them differently, the outcomes started changing. See, here's the problems. Too many of you are letting your thoughts run wild like an untrained animal. You're letting fear, doubt, insecurity, and comparison have free rent in your head. And when those voices get loud, they drive your behavior. That's why you procrastinate. That's why you settle. That's why you keep saying one day and never move. But when you learn to take control of your thoughts, when you start choosing what you let live in your mind, that's when your life takes a different path. Let me break it down. The mind doesn't know the difference between a truth and a lie. It only knows what you keep feeding it. If you keep telling yourself, I'll never make it, your mind accepts that as reality and shuts you down before you even try. But if you start saying, I will make it, I may not know how yet, but I'm going to figure it out, your mind starts looking for ways to back that up. It's like a GPS. It locks in on where you tell it to go. You say, failure, it drives you there. You say, success, it starts calculating the route. And I'm not just talking about motivation. I'm talking about science. I'm talking about the reality that your thoughts literally rewire your brain. Every time you think the same thing, you're building a pathway, a groove. And the deeper that groove gets, the easier it becomes to repeat it. So if all you ever think is, I can't, that's the pathway your brain is paving. I am, I can. That becomes the groove. That becomes the track you naturally run on. So I need you to start taking responsibility for what's living in your head. Don't just let anything stay there. Don't just let negativity take root. Guard your thoughts. Feed your mind like you feed your body. You wouldn't eat garbage every single day and expect to be strong and healthy, right? So stop letting garbage thoughts dominate your mind and expect your life to be great. Start feeding your thoughts with vision, with purpose, with gratitude, with determination. Because at the end of the day, your life is a reflection of your dominant thoughts. So when you walk out of here today, I need you to ask yourself, what seeds am I planting? Because one way or another, they're going to grow. Would you like me to move on and expand key point 2 in the same style and length, 700 words, Eric Thomas energy, so it flows like a complete speech? Let me be real with you for a second. Your life is a direct reflection of the battle between positive and negative thinking. And you can't sit on the fence. You're either feeding one or feeding the other. And whichever one you feed, that's the one that grows. That's the one that controls your actions. That's the one that determines your future. Some of you in here, you're losing not because you don't have talent, not because you don't have opportunity, not because you don't have potential. You're losing because you let negative thinking win every single day. You wake up already defeated because the first thought in your head is, I'm tired, I can't do it, I don't have what it takes. And once the thought takes root, your whole day is built on it. You're already walking around with the weight of doubt, and you don't even realize it. But let me flip it for you. The same way negative thoughts can pull you down, positive thoughts can pull you up. Positive thoughts give you energy. They give you momentum. They give you the courage to take risks, to keep pushing even when it hurts. And don't get it twisted. Positive thinking is not about ignoring reality. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about making a choice to focus on solutions instead of problems, to focus on growth instead of limitation, to focus on what you can control instead of what you can't. Think about it. When you're in a tough spot and your mind goes negative, all you see is walls. All you see are obstacles. All you see are reasons to quit. But when you shift your thinking, suddenly those same walls look like challenges you can climb. Those same obstacles look like opportunities to grow. Those same setbacks look like lessons to learn from. The situation didn't change, you did. Your perspective changed, and that perspective gave you power. I'll never forget the moment I realized I was giving too much energy to the wrong voice in my head. Every day, I was hearing that voice telling me, "You're not enough. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough." And as long as I kept letting that voice talk, it controlled my actions. I'd hesitate. I'd procrastinate. I'd talk myself out of opportunities before I even tried. But the moment I started replacing that voice with a new one that said, "You're capable. You're chosen. You're built for this," everything changed. Did the problems stop showing up? No. But my response to them was different. Instead of backing down, I started stepping up. Instead of running away, I started running toward the challenge. That's the power of positive thinking. The truth is, your mind is like a stage. Only one thought can hold the microphone at a time. Either the positive thought gets the mic or the negative one does. And too many of you have been letting negativity headline your life show for way too long. You've been letting fear perform. You've been letting insecurity perform. You've been letting comparison perform. And it's time to kick them off the stage. It's time to give the mic to courage, to gratitude, to belief. Because when positive thoughts take the stage, your entire show changes. You have to stop underestimating how dangerous negative thinking really is. It's not just bad vibes. Negative thinking kills dreams before they're even born. It paralyzes you. It convinces you that your comfort zone is safety, when in reality your comfort zone is a prison. But positive thinking, that's the key that unlocks the prison door. That's the energy that makes you get up one more time after you've been knocked it down. That's the fire that keeps you going when everybody else quits. But here's the catch. You can't just think positive once and expect your life to turn around. It has to be a daily practice, every morning. You've got to choose what kind of day you're going to have by choosing what thoughts you're going to entertain. Every time doubt creeps in, you've got to fight it with belief. Every time fear whispers, you've got to drown it out with faith. Because if you don't control your thoughts will control you. So I need you to make a decision right here, right now. Which voice are you going to let win? Which mindset are you going to feed? Because your future is depending on it. Do you want me to go ahead and build key point 3 into a 700-word segment in the same style so the whole speech flows like a complete keynote? Listen to me. Everything in your life right now, the way you act, the way you carry yourself, the things you attempt and the things you don't attempt, it's all tied to the way you see yourself. Your self-image, your belief about who you are and what you deserve, that's the ceiling on your success. You can't outwork a broken self-image. You can't outrun the story you keep telling yourself about you. That's why some of you keep hitting the same wall. It's not because you don't have the skills. It's not because you don't have the resources. It's because deep down, you don't actually believe you belong at the next level. You don't actually believe you're worthy of the dream. And as long as you're walking around with that belief, you will sabotage yourself every single time you get close. You've got to hear me on this. What you think about yourself is powerful. If you see yourself as average, you will move like you're average. If you see yourself as broke, you will keep making broke decisions. If you see yourself as somebody who never finishes, then every time it gets hard, your brain is going to pull you back to that identity. And you'll quit again. But the moment you shift that image, the moment you say, "I am more than this, I am capable, I am chosen, I am built for greatness," everything starts lining up differently. Your actions will start to match your new identity. I remember being in a place where my outside didn't match the inside. On the outside, people saw a guy with potential, but inside, I didn't see what they saw. I thought I wasn't smart enough. I thought I wasn't prepared. I thought I wasn't worthy of being in certain rooms. And because of that, I would shrink when opportunities came. I would downplay myself. I would walk in with my head low instead of my chest out. And it wasn't until I rebuilt the picture of myself in my own head that I started walking in authority, that I started moving like I belong. You can't wait for the world to validate you. You can't wait for people to clap for you. You can't wait for somebody else to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. The world is only going to see you the way you see you. If you walk around small, they will treat you small. If you walk around insecure, they will treat you insecure. But if you walk around like you were made for this, like you put the work in, like you're supposed to be here, then people have no choice but to respect it. That's why I tell people all the time, the most dangerous lies aren't the ones the world tells you. They're the ones you tell yourself. Because those are the ones that stick. Those are the ones that keep you up at night. Those are the ones that keep you saying, I can't. But you've got to learn to reprogram that voice. You've got to tell yourself a new story. You've got to say it so much that your brain starts to believe it, your actions start to reflect it, and eventually your life starts to confirm it. Don't get it twisted. Belief is not magic. Belief is the starting point. Belief is the fuel. When you believe you're capable, you start putting yourself in positions to win. When you believe you're worthy, you start going after opportunities with confidence. When you believe you're built for greatness, you stop settling for mediocrity. And all of that belief pushes you to act in ways that match who you say you are. But here's the danger. If you keep walking around with a broken self-image, no amount of talent, no amount of opportunity, no amount of connections will save you. You'll keep finding ways to talk yourself out of it. You'll keep making excuses for why it didn't work out. You'll keep playing small because you think small about yourself. That's why this has to change now. I need you to stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I succeed? Stop saying, I don't belong here. And start saying, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Stop living by the identity you created in your lowest moment and start living by the identity of the person you're becoming. Because when your self-image lines up with your goals, there is nothing that can stop you. So hear me clearly. Your life will never rise higher than the picture you hold of yourself. Do you want me to take key point 4 and build it into the same 700-word powerhouse style so you'll have the entire full-length speech polished and ready? At some point, you've got to stop letting your mind wander aimlessly and start giving it clear direction. You've got to make a decision to deliberately focus on where you want to go, on what you want to build, on who you want to become. Because if you don't take control of your focus, life will take control of it for you. And I promise you, life will always try to pull you toward distractions, toward negativity, toward mediocrity. That's why most people never get where they're supposed to go. Because their focus is scattered. They're trying to hold on to 10 different things at once, and they wonder why nothing grows. Let me tell you, focus is a weapon. When you lock in on something, when you put blinders on and refuse to let anything pull you off track, you become dangerous. You become unstoppable. Think about a magnifying glass. If you wave it around, nothing happens. But if you hold it steady, that sun's energy can set something on fire. That's what your focus does. If you keep it steady long enough, it will ignite your life. But if you keep shifting from one thing to the next, you'll never generate enough heat to burn through the obstacles standing in your way. Some of you start with great energy, but the moment it gets tough, your focus breaks. The moment you don't see results right away, your focus drifts. And then you wonder why you're stuck in the same place year after year. It's not that you didn't start strong. It's that you didn't stay locked in long enough for the breakthrough. You've got to understand that greatness doesn't come to the person who starts fast. It comes to the person who stays consistent, who keeps showing up, who refuses to take their eyes off the goal no matter how long it takes. I know what it feels like to be pulled in every direction. I know what it feels like to have distractions calling your name, to have people telling you to quit, to have opportunities that look shiny but don't line up with your purpose. And the difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. The ones who make it learn to say no. They learn to cut off everything that doesn't align with where they're going. They don't just dream it. They discipline themselves to focus on it daily. And don't think I'm saying focus is easy. Focus is hard. It takes sacrifice. It means there are going to be nights when you're up working while everybody else is asleep. It means there are going to be weekends when your friends are out having fun and you're locked in grinding. It means there are going to be seasons where you feel like you're alone because nobody else can see the vision the way you see it. But hear me, that's the price of focus. That's the price of transformation. That's the price of building a life that looks different from everybody else's. See, when you learn to deliberately choose your thoughts, you begin to align your energy with your goals. Every thought is like a vote for the future you want to build. And the more votes you give toward faith, toward vision, toward purpose, the more momentum you create. Eventually, your life has no choice but to line up with the direction of your focus. That's why you've got to protect it. Don't let fear steal your focus. Don't let doubt steal your focus. Don't let distractions pull you off course. Lock in. I need you to start waking up every day with intention. I need you to start telling your mind what to think about instead of letting it run wild. Start your day by setting your focus. Decide what matters most. And don't give your energy to anything that doesn't serve it. Because the truth is, you can't hit a target you never aim at. And too many of you are just shooting in the dark, hoping life will hand you something good. No, you've got to aim. You've got to get clear. You've got to direct your focus like a laser. And once you do, once you focus with that kind of intensity, with that kind of consistency, you'll start to see transformation. You'll look up one day and realize the things you used to dream about are now the reality you're living. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because you made the choice every single day to direct your thoughts toward the life you wanted. So stop drifting and start focusing, because your future depends on it.